Did you hear that Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland? That's what we'll discuss in today's Learn English with the News lesson. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started.
Our headline, Trump says he believes US will get Greenland. In this headline, there is an article, an article missing. Do you know which article and where it belongs? Do you know? This is commonly done and acceptable with headlines of news articles. Trump says he believes the US, the United States of America, the US, the USA. This is a requirement. The belongs with the country US. Now let's review get, because the word get has so many different meanings in English. In this context, Trump says he believes the US will get Greenland. What does get mean here if you had to use another word? Will get Greenland. Will obtain or own or possess Greenland. But what about this use of get? Have you ever said to yourself or to someone else, I need to get fluent? In this case, get fluent means become fluent. It's that transition from not fluent to fluent. So the word get is often used to talk about this transition. And I'm here to help you get fluent, which is why I make these Learn English with the News lessons. I truly believe they're the best way to help you get fluent. So you can say learning English with the news will help me get fluent. If you believe that, put that's right in the comments. Now, before we read the article together, did you notice how I pronounced this word? I'll say it again. And what do you notice? Greenland, Greenland. I'm not saying Greenland, Greenland. The word here is land, but in English, we have the concept of syllable stress. So in this case, green is the stressed syllable. So this vowel becomes unstressed. Lind, ind, Greenland, Greenland. This is the phonetic spelling where you can see that A is our schwa sound, which is just an unstressed ind. And then I wrote it as this if that helps you. Don't worry about taking notes. I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF. You can find the link in the description. Now let's read the article together. President Donald Trump has said he believes the US, notice now that we're in the body of the article, we need the grammatically. So it's acceptable to omit it, leave it out in the headline, but not the body. So the US. Everything else is basically said the same. Notice here it has said the present perfect because it's a completed past action. He said this in the past, but there's a result in the present. Well, what's the result? Maybe now he's going to Greenland to talk about this potential arrangement. President Donald Trump has said he believes the US will gain control of Greenland. So this is his interpretation of what get means, gain control of. How that will be done or what that means, well, maybe we'll find out in this article. After showing renewed interest, notice this word here. This is important because if it's after showing renewed interest, this means he showed interest in the past and then there was a period of no interest. But now that it's renewed interest, he's showing it again. So this word is very important because it tells me that this conversation has taken place in the past already. Maybe you could say, I have a renewed passion for learning English. If you say this, it sounds like you were very passionate about it before, but then maybe you got busy, you forgot about it, but now you're passionate again. You can use this for anything, playing guitar, reading in a book club, art, any passion or any interest in work as well. I have a renewed passion for learning English. Does that describe you? And hopefully these lessons using real world topics. Hopefully this helps renew your passion. So if that describes you, put that's me, put that's me in the comments. Now notice here, after showing renewed interest, in, because you have interest in doing, and then you have your gerund verb. Just like the sentence structure, to be interested in doing something. I'm interested in learning English, for example. But notice here with the word passion, you have a passion for something. Passion for something. I wrote those for you, and as I was writing them, I thought of this one. To be passionate. So passionate is the adjective. Passion is the noun. It's a something. To be passionate. I'm passionate. Now you need the preposition about. I'm passionate about learning English. Again, hopefully that describes you. If it does, put that's me, put that's me in the comments. So let's review the full sentence now. After showing renewed interest again, in acquiring, the preposition in, ing, gerund verb because it's after a preposition, in acquiring the autonomous Danish territory in recent weeks. And of course, the autonomous Danish territory is Greenland.
Are you enjoying this lesson? If you are, then I want to tell you about the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium training program where we study native English speakers from TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can improve your listening skills of fast English, expand your vocabulary with natural expressions, and learn advanced grammar easily. Plus, you'll have me as your personal coach. You can look in the description for the link to learn more, or you can go to my website and click on Finally Fluent Academy. Now let's continue with our lesson.
I think we're going to have it. Here, the it is Greenland, because you would refer to a country as third person singular, it. So it is Greenland. I think we're going to have Greenland. Honestly, I think it would be better to say get, because that talks about the transition from not having it, to obtaining it, to get Greenland, to get it. And that's the word choice he used before. But you could use have as well, have in this sense of possess. I think we're going to have it, he told reporters on Air Force One on Saturday. Why is this preposition here? Do you know? He told, so the he is Donald Trump, of course. Donald Trump told reporters on Air Force One. Why this on? Well, what's Air Force One? It's his plane. The presidential plane is called Air Force One, and we use on as the preposition of location for planes. Let's imagine the location was the White House. The preposition would be in the White House. What if it were a press conference? We could say at the press conference. So you need to change your preposition based on the location. Just remember on an airplane. I'm on the plane on Saturday. And here again, we use the preposition on for days of the week. I'm sure you know that already. Now this sentence continues on because we have a comma, adding that the island's 57,000, so that's how you would say this, 3 zeros is 1,000, 57,000 residents. So the island is Greenland, it's an island, and the residents belong to the island, Greenland, which is why this possessive is here. The island's 57,000 residents want to be with us. I wrote this out for you because I also want you to notice there is no S on 1,000, 57,000. Why is that? Because the S, the plural, is on the noun, residents. 57,000 residents want to be with us. Now notice there are quotation marks here. This is saying that Donald Trump directly said these words, want to be with us. But he didn't say the island's 57,000 residents. So this part, those words didn't come out of his mouth. Maybe he just said Greenland, but the article changed it to this to be more descriptive, want to be with us. Let's continue. His comments come after reports that the Danish Prime Minister insisted Greenland was not for sale in a fiery phone call with the president last week. This is a great adjective to have, a fiery phone call. What image do you have if it's a fiery phone call? Fiery means intense, passionate, or heated. Heated. This is a great alternative because it's commonly used. A heated phone call. So add this one to your vocabulary as well. It's an adjective. It has the same meaning. Now, this commonly is used in a negative way in the sense that one is upset, angry, mad. For example, I sent a fiery email to Amazon when my item arrived damaged. I'm sure you have wanted to or have sent many fiery emails to people. So there's a lot of negative energy in that. But what about this example? She gave a fiery speech at the conference. Perhaps it was an angry speech, but maybe it was just full of passion on a topic that she's very passionate about. So it's more passion. Now, maybe that passion came off very strongly, but not necessarily in an angry way. So it can mean angry, and it commonly does, but it can also have a more neutral or perhaps even positive meaning depending on the context. But in this specific context, I imagine that the Danish Prime Minister was not happy. So I imagine fiery being intense with more anger and negative emotion. But I wasn't there. In a fiery phone call with the president last week, Trump floated the prospect of buying the vast Arctic territory during his first term in 2019. Because remember, he now has a renewed interest. He's interested again. This interest is happening again. So now we have the context. Now we know when he was first interested. Let's review this verb, to float the prospect of, and then the verb float is conjugated in the past simple because it's a completed past action. If you float the prospect or the idea of doing something, so you need your gerund verb here, it means you introduce the idea. The prospect is another word for the idea of doing something. Now, you could also use Trump introduced the idea of, and then you would still use your gerund verb because of is a preposition. So in a workplace setting, you could say, I floated the idea of Pizza Friday to my boss, so I introduced the idea. How would you do that? You would just say, hey, what do you think about having Pizza Friday? I think it would really boost morale. Hopefully you provide a good reason why. So you just share your idea in order to get approval or get feedback. Now notice here, I used a noun. You can always use a gerund verb or you can use a noun. So if I wanted to use a noun, I could say, I floated the idea of having Pizza Friday to my boss. So either one, the gerund verb or simply the noun works in this case. Now remember, float is your verb, so you need to conjugate that. And if you're not comfortable using that, you can simply use the word, I introduced the idea of having Pizza Friday to my boss. So Trump first floated the idea in 2019. Let's continue. And has said U.S. control of Greenland. Now, remember I said that US as a country always requires the article the, and it's only in the headline where you can omit it. But here, we're not in the headline. We're in the article. So why is it not said the US control? Do you know? And has said US control of Greenland. This word, US, United States, is an adjective. And adjectives don't take articles. Nouns take articles. So US is describing control of Greenland. Well, what type of control of Greenland? French control, Italian control, Canadian control? No, US control. You could also say American control because American is an adjective that describes the United States of America. You can say American as well. But remember, when the country is used as a noun, you need that article the. And has said, US control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. So now we know these two words, absolute necessity, came from the mouth of Donald Trump. But these words did not. So maybe he said something that has another meaning for the security of the world. And then they just changed it to for international security for some reason. I think the people want to be with us. So here would be the people in Greenland based on the context. I think the people want to be with us, Trump said when asked about the island in the press room on board the presidential plane. So now we have on board to talk about you being physically located on a plane. You can say on board. So the pilot might say everyone is on board. All the passengers are on board, so we can take off. Let's continue. Despite Trump's apparent confidence, so the confidence belongs to Trump. Despite Trump's confidence, do you know what apparent means? This is an important word because it means this seems to be true, but it's also possible it's not. So it's not 100% confirmed. Let's review these two examples and notice the different form. The apparent cause of the fire was extremely dry conditions. So this seems to be the cause, but it's not 100% confirmed. So that's a very important word choice. Now you can also use apparently. The fire was apparently caused by extremely dry conditions. It has the exact same meaning, it's just a different form of the word. In this case, it's an adverb because you have that ly. The fire was apparently caused by extremely dry conditions. And in this example, it's an adjective, the apparent cause of the fire. Despite Trump's apparent confidence, the prime ministers of Greenland and Denmark have both previously said the island was not for sale. Notice the sentence structure, it's to be for sale. So to be conjugated as was in the past simple because it's conjugated with the subject, the island, third person singular. It was, and then making it negative, not for sale, which means not available for purchase, not for sale. Greenland lies on the shortest route from North America to Europe, making it strategically important for the US. So here, US is not an adjective, it's a noun, and you need to use the article the for the US. Though the island has wide-ranging autonomy, it remains part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Notice the pronunciation of though. It has the voiced th and then just an o. Though, o, though. It's the exact pronunciation with although, and it's the same meaning as well. So you can say although or though. Though sounds a little more casual. Native speakers use though frequently. I use although if I want to sound a little more formal or professional. If I'm doing more formal writing, I will definitely use although. Though the island has wide-ranging autonomy. Let's review wide-ranging. This means covering a large number of, and then the of different things, different topics. It depends on the context. In this context, it's autonomy, which means the ability to govern oneself, have independence. So in that context, maybe it is the ability to have different laws, currency, rules, regulations, all of those different topics. But in an everyday sense, you can say she has wide-ranging interests. So you can say she has interests What type of interests? Well, they're wide ranging. They cover many different topics. She has wide ranging interests. And then you could give an example from classical music to skydiving. So that just shows that the range starts here and goes there. But you could list out the different things she's interested in as well. Now, you can also use a wide range of interests. So in this case, she has a wide range of interests. She has interests. What type? A wide range of. So it's the same meaning, just notice the different sentence structure here. And then you can have the exact same example. Wide ranging is an adjective, and a wide range of is a noun phrase. But again, the meaning is the same. It remains part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Trump's recent comments have sent shockwaves through the Danish political establishment. Ooh, what are shockwaves? If Trump's recent comments send shockwaves through something else, Danish political establishment, it means it caused a strong reaction or disturbance. Now, it's send shockwaves. So that's the collocation. The verb send, in this case, conjugated in the present perfect. Send shockwaves, and then it's through something. So that preposition is through. For example, the introduction of DeepSeek, which is a new AI. The introduction of DeepSeek sent shockwaves. So this is just the past simple. Maybe it could be will send shockwaves. So this might be introduced next week, but people are already talking about it. So you can put it in the future simple. Will send, you're making a prediction, will send shockwaves through the tech industry. So this is the other part, the tech industry. So Trump's recent comments about his renewed interest in taking over, in getting Greenland, have sent shockwaves through the Danish political establishment. It's just another way of saying political environment or the government, the Danish political establishment. Sparking, in this case, sparking means creating. So this created this next point. So what is the next point? What did this create? Hastily organized high-level meetings in Copenhagen earlier this month. So this sparked meetings in Copenhagen earlier this month. What type of meetings? High-level meetings. High-level meetings means that the meetings took place with the senior positions. So whoever are the highest level, rank, or position within a company. That would be the high-level meetings. So high-level meetings. And those high-level meetings were hastily organized, which means they were done in a hurry. That doesn't mean they were done quickly, which has a more positive sound. They quickly organized the meetings. If they hastily did it, it means it was done without a lot of thought or attention. I'm sure this has happened to you. Maybe she hastily finished the report when she realized it was due today and not tomorrow. So she had to finish it without a lot of thought or attention because there is just no time. So it doesn't mean quickly in the sense that quickly can sound positive, but hastily sounds more negative. And that's the end of the article. Wow, we have learned a lot together. So now I'll review the article. I'll read it from start to finish so you can focus on my pronunciation and listen to all your new vocabulary in context. Trump says he believes U.S. will get Greenland. President Donald Trump has said he believes the U.S. will gain control of Greenland after showing renewed interest in acquiring the autonomous Danish territory in recent weeks. I think we're going to have it, he told reporters on Air Force One on Saturday, adding that the island's 57,000 residents want to be with us. His comments come after reports that the Danish Prime Minister insisted Greenland was not for sale in a fiery phone call with the president last week. Trump floated the prospect of buying the vast Arctic territory during his first term in 2019 and has said U.S. control of Greenland is an absolute necessity for international security. I think the people want to be with us, Trump said when asked about the island in the press room on board the presidential plane. Despite Trump's apparent confidence, the prime ministers of Greenland and Denmark have both previously said the island was not for sale. Greenland lies on the shortest route from North America to Europe, making it strategically important for the U.S. Though the island has wide-ranging autonomy, it remains part of the Kingdom of Denmark. Trump's recent comments have sent shockwaves through the Danish political establishment, sparking hastily organized high-level meetings in Copenhagen earlier this month.
Do you want to keep learning English with the news? If you do, put let's go in the comments. And of course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And here's another lesson I know you'll love. Watch it now.